What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another GTA Online Q&A video. My name is SaintsFan, and today we're just chilling, floating, actually in single player. But the reason we're in single player here for the start of this video is because the main question I want to answer is, will the Cayo Perico Island and whatever other islands Rockstar inevitably add to GTA Online, will they be coming to Freemode in the upcoming GTA Online enhanced version, like whatever the upgraded version that is coming out in the second half of this year? And this question is a question I got from a decent amount of people when I've done some Q&As, and I wanted to just go in depth on why it might be coming to free roam and what Rockstar would need to do to make it actually available to free roam, because the way it works now, and this is the reason we're in single player, is it's weird. And let's just start. Of course, you're looking at the regular island. That's Los Santos down there. And it's a good island, but of course, we all want something new. Well, Rockstar added the Cayo Perico Island, and we're going to use some modding tools to showcase what exactly is happening. So let's go ahead and go to the Cayo Perico Islands all the way down here, and now we are on the Cayo Perico Island. Now, of course, in the story of GTA Online, this is not even close to Los Santos. This is some island, I don't know, friggin' probably down in like South America or something, which is nowhere near Los Santos. So the one problem when it comes to this particular island is just that. It's, would Rockstar be willing to put an island that's not supposed to be near Los Santos? Would they be willing to put it right next to Los Santos? And that, of course, leads to so many other questions. I'll let Rockstar decide that. But let's just throw all that out the window. If Rockstar wanted to start putting islands like this next to the actual island, which is in that direction, how would it work? And how does it work right now? So what some people misunderstand is the way Rockstar spawn in not only this island, but pretty much every interior in GTA Online. So right now, again, of course, we're hovering over the Cayo Perico Island, and if we just do a 360, there's nothing around. I mean, it's just open seas, which is cool because it's an island. But wait, there's this, the airship, the aircraft carrier. So what's going on here? And if you've actually played the Cayo Perico heist, sometimes you'll notice this aircraft carrier is like, what, a couple hundred feet from the actual island. And the reason that is because if we simply just go in this direction, you can actually see a boat in the distance. Boom, look at that. There's the island. So in the game's engine, or like whatever, in the way the game works, the Cayo Perico Island is right next to the Los Santos Island. But as you just saw, it's not there no more. Even though the airship or the aircraft carrier is here. The way it works, there's some sort of invisible wall. I don't exactly know how, I'm not a game developer, but there is an invisible wall that you hit it and you go back to the island. But you can never go back to the Cayo Perico Island. We can go for days, and I think, is this actually some, we start seeing, yeah, we have some props here. And this is where the island would be. But of course, it's not there. We have to go back to the menu and respawn it. And then now we are back. And this is the same reason why when you did the glitch to get this island in free roam, you can go in the start menu and then just go up to the top left and you see all the icons from the actual map, because this is where the island is. So you can see, as far as the game's concerned, this isn't very far away. So getting this into free roam in online, what Rockstar would have to do is get rid of this sort of invisible wall, which, I mean, wouldn't be that hard to do. Again, the problem with the Cayo Perico Island specifically is the fact that it's not meant to be right next to the island, right? Or not meant to be next to Los Santos. If they wanted to add islands of similar size around, they have plenty of room to work with. Now, what's also very weird And now I'm going to show this to you guys because we're going to go back to Cayo Perico. Okay, so we have the Cayo Perico Island right here. As you can see, kind of lagging because, of course, this game, for whatever reason, or this island isn't optimized still. What ends up happening when we go to North Yankton? North Yankton is right above Cayo Perico Island. So I think North Yankton is supposed to be like, what, Montana or something? Well, look at this. It's literally right on top of the Cayo Perico Island. So for whatever reason, Rockstar have decided that both of these extra non-Los Santos areas are spawned in the same location. Now, of course, North Yankton here is a much, much bigger area, even though it's only really this one road that goes through. But you have the vast countryside, if you want to call it that, even though a lot of it isn't really textured. But yeah, that is in the same location as the Cayo Perico Island, literally right above it. And both of these, again, are still right next door to the Los Santos Island. Now, we can't go in the start menu. As you see, if we do go high enough, it does disappear. But in the same direction, which is this way, we will eventually hit that invisible wall, and then, boom, we're back to the main island. Now, Rockstar did learn with the Cayo Perico Island, because if we go slightly high enough, I don't want to go too high because it will disappear. You can see in the distance, that is the Los Santos Island. And you can even see part of the city directly sort of in the middle of the screen there. If we just went this way, of course, we would hit the island. And the North Yankton Island, I don't believe, has the invisible barrier. And that's because the North Yankton is in the prologue. Oh, maybe it does have the invisible barrier. All right, well, there you go. So both of the islands, or different locations that Rockstar have added to GTA 5, they both are spawned behind an invisible barrier. Now, the reason that's important and translating to GTA Online is, like I said, Rockstar would have to remove that invisible barrier to open up these spaces. But you do run into the problem, and I think we all have done this at one point. You pick a direction away from the island and just go, right? In a boat, in a plane, something. Eventually you hit a point that your engine just dies and you'll crash into the water and then you'll die. That's because Rockstar don't want you venturing for thousands of miles over the open sea, because of course there's nothing in the distance. There is a mod, I believe that came out a couple years ago, that actually removes that limit and you can just go forever. And depending on the scale of the islands Rockstar want to add, they might have to remove those restrictions, because the Cayo Perico Island is a very small island. But if they wanted to add something the size of, let's say, Las Venturas or San Fierro, and they wanted to have it in free mode so you could just take a boat, a plane, maybe there's a bridge that just connects it, they might have to expand the area of the outer rim of the map, if you want to call it that, to allow for a much bigger landmass connected to this main island. And unfortunately, that is a big thing for Rockstar to do, and it is something as to why we might not see any islands coming in the next update or in the next GTA Online edition. It's not impossible, because again, like I said, modders have done it. It's just whether or not Rockstar want to take the time to get that done. If we do see more islands, it'll be something like the Cayo Perico Island, where you go to the airport here, there's like a little blip, you just walk into the blip, you see a cutscene, and then you end up on the island. That seems to be what Rockstar like to do. I don't know if it's easier to code that way, and you can actually see that pretty distinctly when we go into, let's say the nightclub. So the nightclub, of course, we all know there's a couple of different areas of the nightclub, but we take a look on the mini-map, or when we go out of the actual interior, look at that, we're under the airport. So of course, there's no nightclub here. But Rockstar, for whatever reason, have decided to put that in, or under the airport. Same thing for the facility here. You can see, now this one actually is a little bit closer to where it would normally be, but again, under these like satellite arrays, there's not a facility area there. So they just decide to put a lot of the interiors underneath the ground in random spots. The ones that don't have this problem are actually the apartments, and the simple reason is because the apartments have windows, and they have to like actually look at the things that are outside. So I mean, if we just go out here, you can see, boom, the window, it does look in the same direction. So the apartments are the only interiors that are actually where they're supposed to be on the outside. So they'd have to go back to that if they wanted to add islands. They actually have to put these islands wherever it would make sense, you know, around the island. I think if they were to do San Fierro, like geographically, Los Santos is southern or south of San Fierro in geography terms. So there might be a bridge or something right up in Polito that would go to San Fierro, and it'd be in that direction we're looking. Las Venturas would be sort of east, which I think is this way. So there might be a bridge from one of the interstates over there that goes to Las Venturas. Of course, those are the big examples. I mean, I think a lot of us would just want something like the Catalina Island, IRL. Just throw that off on the West Coast, right? Just put an island out there. I think one of the main things that's detracting Rockstar from actually doing stuff like that, and the reason they are making these new exteriors behind loading screens, is because they don't want just random islands popping up, because it doesn't make sense. I think they have this idea that the community might just be confused, perhaps, as to why there are just islands all of a sudden propping up around the island that we've all been to for the last 8 years. I would really hope that's not the case, because, look, honestly, the easiest solution, if they wanted to add islands in Freemode where you could just fly to them, and if they wanted an in-game explanation as to why they're all of a sudden there, make up some, like, a volcano erupted and boom, there's a new island there, right? It's not that hard. It's GTA. I don't think any one of us cares that there might just be random islands around this one and there'd be no explanation for them. We just want new places to go. And I guess this is tying it back to the question, do I think the Cayo Perico Island or any other islands will make their way into Freemode in the expanded edition? I don't think the Cayo Perico Island will. No, simply because it's not meant to be around Los Santos. But I do think that Rockstar have seen people want islands around Los Santos here, and I do think that they will put something this size. Like if we go back to Cayo Perico Island, this is a perfect size island. It's not too big, it's not too large. This would be the perfect size island. Throw one of these around Los Santos, you know, each year, and dude, that's perfect. I mean, yes, we'd all love a Liberty City style area, Las Venturas, San Fierro. Those are all crazy grand ideas. Obviously, the last couple of years have shown us Rockstar are focused on working on GTA 6. They don't have too many people working on GTA Online. Keep it smaller scale like this, and just throw them around. Throw them around Los Santos, and I think that would be fine. So anyway, that's just, I wanted to answer this question a little bit more in depth, because I think a lot of people on console were confused as to how the game works internally and how things spawn. Hopefully this explained it. Obviously on PC it's a lot easier because we can just use all these mods to figure out where everything is. And as you've seen, the Cayo Perico Island's like right next to the main island. Normally it's just there's an invisible wall that is holding off anyone from seeing it. But for whatever reason, the invisible wall only works one way. You can't go, but you can come back. So that's how it works. And I'll answer some other questions here in this Q&A. But that is the main one. I know, sorry for sort of rambling, but yeah, hopefully people now have a better understanding of how these islands work. And, you know, now if anyone wants to know if the Cayo Perico Island or any other islands, if they're going to come to Freemode, those, what we just went over, are some of the limitations Rockstar have set in place as to how things around the island work and how new areas, how they work, how they spawn in. So yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and continue the Q&A. The next question from Toast in Bath, he says, what do you think we can expect for the summer DLC? Do you think it'll be new businesses, new heists, or something else? So as far as the next DLC is concerned, I think we're still on the fence on whether or not it's going to be an actual DLC, or it might just be the expanded and enhanced edition update. I think once June comes around, once E3 comes around, we'll have a better understanding of if we're going to get a DLC or that new update for the game. Now, as for what new DLCs, I don't think we're going to get a heist anytime soon. I do think, it seems like, at least internally, it takes Rockstar a decent while to make heists. I mean, it took them a year to make the Cayo Perico heist, and let's be honest, it was cool. It didn't really change. Like, it's the same sort of heist formula, just this time you could do it in single player or solo, I guess. So for whatever reason, yeah, Rockstar like to take their time with heists, so I don't think we're going to see that, at least definitely not for the summer DLC. But on that same note, it seems like Rockstar are definitely running out of ideas for new businesses. There haven't been too many business DLCs over the last couple of years. I mean, look, the last one we got, wasn't it the arcade business? So that sort of tells you, like, you would have never thought after all the other businesses we got in GTA Online that an arcade business would be one of the things we would own. And honestly, I think a lot of people don't really want some new businesses. We have a ton in the game already. I mean, it's good to make money, but we want some new stuff. And I think that's why a lot of people were hoping last year to get that Cops and Crooks DLC, because hopefully that would add some new content to the game, like some new gameplay content. And it does maybe look like that might be one of the new DLCs that we actually get sometime this year. Next question from Cody says, hey Austin, do you think that the new upgraded version of GTA 5 coming out will turn into a big disappointment and flop, or will the new version set more records and be the top selling game of 2021? Hopefully that damn building will finally be fixed alongside the other couple of things. Yeah, so look, dude, whatever I say, it's gonna be the top selling game. It's been the top, GTA 5 has been the top selling game for like years now. So yeah, that's not going anywhere at all. I do just hope, like you say, man, they fix some of the problems, right? I think that's the main thing a lot of us old time players are hoping for. I do hope they fix some of the problems, and I guess like we kind of ranted about earlier, I hope they figure out a way to get some of the islands in Freemode. I hope they add some new exteriors and outdoor stuff to Freemode for sure. VCPR, he says, do you think that Dan Houser's departure from Rockstar last year will have negative impact on the company? So this is probably something a lot of like maybe non-hardcore GTA fans don't know, but Dan Houser's was one of the like founding members of Rockstar. He's been through every single Rockstar game, and for sure losing him is going to be a big downgrade, but I don't think it's going to really matter too much for GTA Online. I mean, maybe once we ever get GTA 6, we might see some of the negatives of his departure, but no, for GTA Online, at least anytime soon, I don't think we're going to have any issues with that. And then the final question from Eric, do you think that Rockstar would ever add any blacklisted vehicles to the podium list? I mean, hey, I'm down for it. I don't know if Rockstar would ever do it, because for whatever reason, there shouldn't even be blacklisted vehicles. I think at a certain point, like the cop car was blacklisted. Why? Like no one cares. It's not like it's overpowered or anything. I just don't get the concept of having blacklisted stuff in this game. Like the cop outfit, why is that blacklisted? Like, it's just a cool thing. Why is the cop car again blacklisted? I think there's a couple other vehicles that are blacklisted from having people own them. It's like, we have flying bikes. What's worse than that? Nothing. So yeah, no, I definitely don't agree with the blacklist and stuff, and that could be a cool way to allow people to own them, right? Having them on the podium. That's actually what they did with certain vehicles. I think like the garbage truck, you can only get that through the arena war stuff. So yeah, I definitely would like to see them maybe add some blacklisted stuff to, maybe not the podium, because it's just annoying if you don't get lucky. But I think they definitely should add them to the game and maybe make them like special. You have to do a certain thing at a certain time. Like, I don't know, make it a challenge to unlock. But anyway, that is it with the Q&A. I know it's been a long one, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please drop that a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.